Let me ask you something most men never think about. Why is it that a woman can like you today, be cold tomorrow, and then suddenly become warm again the moment you change just one thing about the way you behave? It's not magic, it's not luck, and it's definitely not because women are confusing. It's because there is one psychological switch inside a woman's mind that decides whether she sees you as just a friend or as the man she can't stop thinking about. And once you understand this switch, you stop chasing, you stop guessing, and she starts wanting you. Today, I'm going to show you exactly what that switch is and how to flip it without games, manipulation, or pretending to be someone you're not. Pay close attention, because once you see this, you can't unsee it. Welcome back to the channel. Today's video is all about female psychology, and specifically the one thing men overlook that destroys attraction without even realizing it. Because here's the truth. Women don't fall for the guy who tries the hardest. They fall for the guy who understands what actually makes them feel safe, excited, seen, and drawn in emotionally. In this video, we're going deep. I'm going to break down practical, real-life examples, psychology-backed insights, and simple behaviors that make a woman naturally start wanting you, without pressure, without forcing anything, and without acting like a nice guy or a bad boy. Just being a man she feels pulled toward. So let's get into the first major point. 1. Women want a man who creates emotional contrast. Most men make the same mistake without even realizing it. They think attraction is built by being consistent, predictable, always available, and always agreeable. But here's the psychology nobody told you growing up. A woman doesn't fall for consistency. She falls for contrast, the shift in emotions that you create. Let me explain. Imagine this. A woman meets two guys at a friend's gathering. Guy A is nice, polite, always smiling, nodding at everything she says. He compliments her every chance he gets. He never disagrees. He never challenges. He's a perfect gentleman. And after 20 minutes, she loses interest. Now compare that to Guy B. He listens, but not like he's worshiping every word. He challenges her on something she says, but in a playful way. He teases her a little. He notices her earrings but doesn't make a big deal about it. He's warm, but also calm, centered, and a little unpredictable in a good way. Guess which man she thinks about later that night? Guy B, every single time. Why? Because Guy B created emotional contrast. He didn't keep her in one predictable emotional state. He created movement, curiosity, comfort, playfulness, depth. The psychology behind it. Women are wired to respond to emotional rhythm, not emotional monotony. Attraction for her isn't a straight line. It's a pattern of curiosity, playfulness, mystery, warmth, challenge, connection. Think of it like music. If every note was the same, the song would be boring. But when the rhythm changes, when the beats rise and fall, you feel something. Same with attraction. What this means for you. If you're always saying yes, being available, texting all day, complimenting too much, trying too hard to be nice, you're flattening the emotional rhythm. You're removing the natural tension that makes a woman lean in. Instead, here's what to do. Actionable tips. Mix playful teasing with genuine compliments. Example. You're trouble, I can already tell, but I like it. Be warm in moments and calm in others. Warm doesn't mean needy. Calm doesn't mean cold. Challenge her lightly. If she says, I hate mornings, you can reply, that's because you've never had the right morning routine. Don't always respond instantly. Let the conversation breathe. Show interest, but don't rush into proving yourself. Attraction grows when she has space to feel it. Remember, it's emotional contrast that makes her curious. Curiosity becomes attraction. Attraction becomes desire. 2. She wants to feel chosen, not chased. Here's a truth most men never hear. Women don't want a man who chases them. They want a man who chooses them. There's a massive difference. Chasing feels desperate. Choosing feels intentional. and women can sense the difference instantly. Let's break this down with a real-life scenario. Think about a time you really liked a woman. You texted first, you replied fast, you tried to keep the conversation alive. You asked when she was free. You showed interest. Maybe too much. Nothing wrong with interest. But here's what she felt. You weren't choosing her. You were trying to convince her. It's subtle, but it flips a woman's internal switch from, "Who is this guy?" to, "Oh, he already sees me as the prize." When she feels that, she stops chasing the interaction. She relaxes. She lets you do the work. Because you've already shown you'll do it. A man who chooses her is different. He's interested. But he isn't performing. He's available, but not waiting. He listens, but doesn't bend his entire life to impress her. He isn't afraid to walk away if the energy is one-sided. That's the key. A man who chooses a woman is signaling that he has options, standards, and self-respect. Women find that irresistible. The psychology behind choosing versus chasing attraction for women is heavily tied to perceived value. Not money, not looks, not status. Value equals how he treats himself, plus how much of himself he's willing to give away. If a woman feels she can get all of your attention without earning any of it, your value drops. But when she feels she's earning your attention, even just a little, her attraction skyrockets. Because now she feels like she's special, she's seen, she's selected, she stands out from the crowd. That's the feeling she's secretly craving. Actionable tips: how to choose without chasing. Match her effort, don't exceed it. If she writes 3 lines, you don't write a paragraph. Be interested in her, not obsessed. Ask questions, but let her ask too. Don't always initiate. Let her start the conversation sometimes. Have a life, hobbies, goals, purpose, friends. This makes you magnetic. Reward good energy. If she's being feminine, playful, or open, lean into it. Pull back when she pulls back. Not as a game, but as balance. Choosing means you value yourself first, and that energy makes her want to invest in you. 3. Women are attracted to how you make them feel, not what you say. If you take only one thing from this video, let it be this. Women don't fall for your words. They fall for the emotional experience they have around you. You can say all the right lines. Compliment her. Text her good morning every day. Tell her what she wants to hear. But if she doesn't feel anything, it's over before it starts. Here's a real example. You've probably lived through. You're texting a girl you like. You're polite, you're respectful. You ask thoughtful questions, and she responds with, "Lol," "Yay," "Haha," and eventually, nothing. You sit there thinking, "But I didn't say anything wrong?" Exactly. You didn't say anything wrong, but you didn't make her feel anything either. You spoke to her mind instead of to her emotions. That's the mistake. Let's look at the guy who creates emotion. Instead, he sends messages that spark curiosity. "Oh wow, you're dangerous. I can already tell." He uses playful tension. "Hold on, you do not look like someone who wakes up before 10 a.m. He mixes seriousness with humor. "I like your energy. It's chaotic, but in a cute way." These aren't lines. They're feelings packaged as words. He's not trying to impress her. He's trying to connect with her emotions, not her logic. And that difference is everything. Psychology behind emotional attraction. Women form attraction through emotional memory, meaning she might forget what you said, but she'll never forget how being around you made her feel. Did she feel curious, understood, seen, excited, challenged, relaxed? Those feelings are what make her attached to you emotionally. It's the emotional imprint that creates desire. How to create emotional experience in real life. Here are simple ways to shift from logical to emotional connection. Add playfulness to interactions. Not goofy, just lighthearted energy. Share small pieces of your personality, tell quick stories, opinions, funny memories. She connects more when she sees you. Use pauses, don't rush your words. Calm energy equals masculine presence. Give specific compliments. Not, you're pretty, but, your smile looks like it's hiding a secret. Let your facial expressions do half the work. Smirks. Raised eyebrow. Slow smile. Women pick up micro-emotions instantly. Talk about how things make you feel, not just what you think. When you start focusing on emotional experience over perfect lines, her attraction becomes natural, almost automatic. 4. She's attracted to confidence, not ego. Here's a hard truth most men overlook. Confidence is magnetic. Ego is repelling. Women can feel the difference immediately, even if you're subtle about it. The difference between confidence and ego. Confidence is calm, secure. Comfortable in your own skin, not needing validation. Ego is defensive, needy, always proving something insecure behind the mask. A confident man doesn't have to show off. He doesn't demand attention, he simply embodies it, naturally. A story that makes this clear. Imagine two men at a social event. Guy A keeps interrupting, bragging about his car, job, or how many women he's dated. He's loud, overcompensating. Women notice, and the reaction is usually, who does he think he is? Guy B laughs, listens, shares a story about himself, but with humility. He engages, teases, and keeps an easy, calm energy. He doesn't need to prove anything. Guess which guy she remembers later that night? Exactly, the one who radiates quiet confidence, not ego. Psychology behind confidence. Confidence signals security and value. Women are wired to notice men who are comfortable being themselves, unshaken by small challenges or rejections, able to take the lead without forcing it. Ego signals insecurity, which is an automatic turnoff. How to build confidence, not ego. Focus on your life first. Hobbies, goals, friends. You're not dependent on her attention. Maintain calm energy. Don't overreact to minor setbacks or jokes. Speak slowly and deliberately. Hesitation equals uncertainty. Speed equals overcompensation. Take care of your body and appearance. Not for her, for yourself. Self-respect is magnetic. Learn to say no without guilt. Boundaries. Eye confidence. Celebrate small wins privately. Don't broadcast them to prove your value. Remember, confidence isn't about being the loudest, richest, or funniest. It's about being secure in who you are, and women are naturally drawn to that energy. 5. She wants mystery, not transparency. Here's something most men never understand. Too much availability kills attraction. Too much transparency kills curiosity. Women are naturally drawn to mystery. They want to discover you, not have every detail handed to them. A story that illustrates this. Imagine two men texting a woman. Guy A. Hey, I just woke up, had breakfast, then went to the gym, showered, and now I'm texting you. He tells her every single detail. Guy B. Just finished some stuff, finally relaxing. What about you? Who do you think she finds more intriguing? Exactly. Guy B. Why? Because he leaves space for imagination. He doesn't give away everything at once. He's a puzzle she wants to solve. And puzzles are irresistible. The psychology behind mystery. Women are wired to find men more attractive when there's something unknown about him. He isn't over-explaining. He demonstrates he has a life beyond her. Think about it. If everything about a man is an open book, her brain says, I already know him. Nothing to discover. Not worth chasing. But if he keeps some things just for himself, if he teases, hints, and surprises, her brain lights up with curiosity, dopamine, and attraction. How to add mystery in real life. Don't overshare. Keep some stories, plans, or details for later. Be playful with information. Example: I had a pretty crazy day, but I'll tell you about it another time. Drop hints instead of full explanations. Suggest things without fully revealing them. Have your own life. Hobbies, friends, goals, things she can't instantly access. Use curiosity-driven questions. Ask about her opinions, dreams, or experiences without overloading her with yours. Be a little unpredictable, in a good way. Change topics, add humor, tease, keep the conversation alive. Remember, mystery equals emotional pull. If she feels she can't read you easily, she's naturally more invested in figuring you out, and that builds desire automatically. 6. Women are drawn to men who make them feel alive. Here's the truth most men overlook. Women aren't just looking for safety or comfort. They want excitement, energy, and the feeling of being truly seen. Attraction is about emotion, and nothing sparks emotion like making her feel alive, laughing, surprised, or a little on edge in a good way. A story to make this real. Think about the times you've met a woman who you couldn't stop thinking about. Maybe she made a bold joke that caught you off guard. Maybe she suggested doing something spontaneous. Maybe her energy made you feel lighter, more alive. You remember the feeling more than the details. The same is true for women. They remember how you make them feel, not just what you do or say. The psychology behind this women's attraction often spikes when they feel excitement, unpredictability, adventure, laughter, connection, someone who sees and understands them. Desire, sensing masculinity, strength, and confidence. When you consistently make her feel alive, her brain associates you with high dopamine, positive emotion, and pleasure, and that creates strong, lasting attraction. How to make her feel alive. Practical tips. Use playful teasing. Spark curiosity and fun. Example. I bet you can't guess what I did today. Spoiler, it's wild. Create shared experiences, even small adventures like trying a new cafe or spontaneous walk. Be expressive, don't hide emotion. Enthusiasm is contagious. Inject unpredictability, a surprising comment, a spontaneous plan, or a fun challenge. Celebrate life openly. Your energy is magnetic. If you love life, she'll want to share it. The key: you don't need extreme stunts or showy displays. It's the emotional energy you radiate that makes her feel alive. 7. Respect her independence, but be a leader. Here's the final major insight. Women want a man who can lead, guide, and protect the emotional space, but without controlling them. If you smother her independence, she feels trapped. If you're passive, she feels unneeded. The sweet spot? Balance. A story to illustrate. This: imagine dating two men. Guy, A always asks permission, constantly checks in, and defers to her at every decision. She feels smothered, like he's insecure and incapable of leading. Guy B listens, supports her, but confidently takes charge of plans and decisions, knowing her input matters, but setting the tone. She feels safe, cared for, and excited. Which man do you think leaves a lasting impression? Exactly. The one who leads without controlling. Actionable tips. Lead without smothering. Make decisions confidently. Plan dates, suggest activities, or choose the vibe of a meetup. Respect her space. Allow her to have hobbies, friends, and alone time. Support her goals. Celebrate her wins and show interest, but don't take over. Set boundaries calmly. Healthy boundaries equals respect and attraction. Be a stable presence. When she's stressed or emotional, remain grounded. Calm energy is magnetic. If you found value in this video, smash that like button. It tells me to make more content like this. Comment below. Which of these 7 points are you going to start practicing today? I want to hear your answers, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss my next video.